The bell rang again last night. I know it should be impossible, there's no bell in the tower anymore. The rope was cut years before I came to this place, the metal melted down for the war effort. The tower stands hollow, a black skeleton of wood and stone above the square, its rafters open to the rain. And yet, last night, I woke to the sound of it. It was not loud, more like the ghost of a sound, if such a thing exists. A single toll, low and slow, rolling through the dark like the tide through an empty harbor. The bell tower sits just behind the rectory, and my room faces it. When I first came here, I thought its emptiness would be comforting. I'm the caretaker now, tending to the chapel, the small garden, and the ancient stone steps that wing to the top of the tower. I have never climbed them. The days here are quiet in a way that swallows you whole. Morning begins with the sound of wind brushing against the shutters, the scrape of my broom on the floorboards. I sweep the nave, polish the candelabra, check the hymnals for mildew. There is no one to speak to but the priest, and he rarely speaks at all. He eats in his study, shuts the door, and prays in silence long after the sun sets. Sometimes, when I pass his window, I see him staring, not at his books, but at the wall. On the second night, it rang again. 2 tolls this time. I told myself it was only in my head. Old buildings make sounds in the dark, beams settle, stones shift, wind hums through the cracks. And perhaps, in that half state between sleeping and waking, I made a bell of the wind. But in the morning, there was something new. On the chapel floor, just beneath the shadow of the tower's open arch, I found a small scattering of dust. Not the soft grey powder of the rafters, but pale, almost white, and fine as flour. When I knelt to touch it, it clung to my skin with a faint, metallic smell. By the third night, I could no longer convince myself. 3 tolls. Evenly spaced, the way a hand might count the hour. They seemed closer this time, as if the sound came not from above, but from somewhere within the walls. I lit a candle and went to the nave. The air was heavy, close, and smelled faintly of damp cloth. The shadows gathered in corners as if pulled there by invisible strings. The tower loomed above, its black mouth open to the night. I looked for the dust again, and there it was, more of it now, spread like a faint circle on the stone floor. I did not sleep for the rest of the night. In the morning, the priest asked me if I had heard it. His voice was low, almost unwilling, as if speaking the words would make them stronger. I said yes. He nodded once, slowly, and told me to keep the tower door locked. Then he went back to his study and shut the door. The lock on the tower door is old, but it still works. I turned the key twice and left it hanging around my neck. But locks are for the living, and whatever rings a bell that isn't there doesn't need to use doors. The 4th night, I waited for it. I sat in the nave with a single candle, the air still and cold. I counted the seconds, my heart beat loud in my ears. When it came, it was so soft I almost thought I'd imagined it. 4 slow tolls, each one sinking into the stones beneath me. The dust was falling this time, faint, slow, drifting from somewhere above. It swirled in the candlelight like snow. I tried to look up into the tower, but the darkness was too deep. In the morning, I found the priest gone. His study door stood open, his bed unmade. On his desk was the key to his room, and beside it, a small scrap of paper with only 1 line written on it. It's nearly finished. I have been alone here ever since. The days have grown darker, though the sun still rises. Shadows seem thicker in the corners, the air heavier. I no longer sweep the nave in the mornings. The dust is everywhere now, A fine pale film that coats my shoes and leaves prints behind me. It tastes of iron when I breathe too deeply. Tonight will be the 7th night. I know how it will go. I will hear 7 tolls, and the dust will fall faster. It will cover the floor, the pews, the altar. I do not know what will happen after that. But I think, no, I am certain, that when the tolls are done, I will hear footsteps on the stairs inside the tower. Slow, deliberate, and heavy, as if someone is carrying the weight of the bell itself. And when they reach the bottom, they will knock. Not on the tower door, but on mine.